What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is going to be episode 16 of my show, Muffler Delete, where I give you my raw, honest, unfiltered, boisterous, noisy, insane opinions about certain cars or certain topics in the auto industry that I'm particularly interested in and passionate about. And in today's episode, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite new car unveilings of the entire year, and it happened a long time ago, way back in February, and that car is going to be the new Maserati MC20. MC stands for Maserati Corsa, and 20 for the year that we're in right now, 2020. Straight off the bat, right away, I need to say that I think the design of this car is absolutely gorgeous. It is one of my favorite looking cars of all time, and if I had ever seen it in person, or as soon as I have seen it in person, I will definitely add it to my list of top 5 best looking cars I've ever seen. I think the design, boom. I have no complaints about the design. I know some people said, it's too plain, but if you watch any of my other videos, you know I don't like it when designs go over the top, too many vents and frills and wings and stuff. The MC20, very clean, very beautiful. I'm a huge fan. So straight away I need to say that. I have only seen it in white with the black roof and in like a bumblebee yellow with the black roof. So I'm interested to see other colors. I want to see it in red. I want to see it in a bright electric blue, because I think the car could look even better than what I've seen it already. I want to say maybe one of the most important things to talk about with this car is the interior, because the rest of Maserati's lineup, the interiors are all kind of lagging behind, but in the MC20, I was quite pleased when I saw it. It really looks like a true modern supercar. The interior kind of gave me a little bit of McLaren vibes, I guess. Very simplistic, purpose-built, you know, a few buttons, nothing crazy. And I like it. I like it. It's definitely Maserati's best interior by a wide, wide margin. It has butterfly doors, which is a big deal to some. You know, if you're deciding between that and a Ferrari, maybe the butterfly doors might push you to the MC20. I think it's not a huge deal, but it's cool, you know? You want to observe this masterpiece of design, and that kind of adds a little flair that some people might not expect. When I was watching a video from the lead designer of Maserati, of the brand Maserati, I was watching a video and he was talking about the new MC20, and he said, which I really liked and I think makes a lot of sense to me, he said that the top half of the car is designed to be beautiful and like a piece of art, the top half. And then the bottom half, just, it screams just purpose-built, designed for maximum performance. And if you look, that's where the exciting and harsh lines are, all at the bottom, and then the top has that smooth, gorgeous roofline, really a quintessential sports car look to it. A couple small things that I liked. I like the wheels a lot. It kind of looks like a trident, like 3 tridents in each of the wheels, and some people didn't like it, but I think it's kind of cool how they put the Maserati trident into the rear windshield, like above the engine bay. I thought that was a unique take, you know? I haven't seen that from anywhere else, and I thought it was cool. Some people thought it was a little tacky, but whatever. I don't think it's offensive at all. Another thing that is worth mentioning is Maserati says that they're going to release fairly soon, in the next year or two or whatever, a fully electric all-wheel drive version of the MC20, which is going to be their first venture into electric vehicles. So that's another thing to keep an eye out. That'll be another groundbreaking move on top of the already groundbreaking MC20 for them. Oh, I haven't even talked about the engine. It's going to be a twin-turbo V6 called the Nettuno, I believe is the name of the engine. It's going to have 630 horsepower and like 580, 590 pound-feet of torque, I think. I read in a few places they kept emphasizing that it's a 90-degree V6. I would love to know why that is important. I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I don't know what performance benefits they get from that. But if you know, please tell me, because I want to educate myself. And another important thing with the engine that was being emphasized in the articles that I was reading about it was that it has a pre-combustion chamber, which is a technology typically seen in Formula One cars, and this is going to be the first usage of that technology in a street legal road car. And again, I'm not really sure what that pre-combustion technology is adding, and I would love to know. So if you can explain it to me, please drop it in the comments, because it seems to be like a big deal, but I just don't understand it, and that's okay. Okay. So I've talked about how I like the interior. The engine is going to be solid. It's also, the engine is coming from Maserati. It's not going to be a Ferrari engine. The engine has been designed, built in-house. Okay? They did not take this engine from elsewhere. So I'm excited to see people's driving impressions with a full-blown Maserati car. The whole car, Maserati, top to bottom. Which is a pretty big deal because they've been borrowing Ferrari's engines for a while, which has kind of been carrying them. So there's all these good things. I love the design. The engine is going to be fantastic with these new technologies. The interior is modern and a huge step forward for Maserati. All these great things, but there is really a tremendous downside that I need to mention when I'm talking about this car. And that's the price. The starting price is going to be about $210,000. Okay. At $210,000, you can buy 3 C8 Corvettes. And the 0 to 60 time of a C8 Corvette is the same as the new Maserati MC20. So, I don't know. As soon as I see that, I kind of think to myself, they're both mid-engine sports cars. Obviously, you know, the Maserati has a more exotic allure to it, but the performance is going to be, at least in a straight line, the performance is equivalent. They both mid-engine, they're both head turners, except one is triple the price of the other. Like, when you're talking $210,000, you're talking about almost Ferrari money. Like, I could buy a nice Ferrari 458. So are people going to be willing to spend that much for a Maserati when they can use that same money and buy a Ferrari or like a Lamborghini that's 5-10 years old instead? I'm not sure if Maserati has the name attraction to draw in people at that price point. Like, I really firmly believe if this car was $50,000 less, it would be a huge, tremendous hit. But at $210,000, I just don't see it selling as much as I would want it to sell, considering how beautiful it is. And obviously there's no way that they could sell it for $160,000, $150,000 when they're selling the Maserati Gran Turismo Sport new. The MSRP is like $170,000. So obviously this car is not going to be that price. It's head and shoulders and leagues above that. So yeah, it is what it is. But I definitely do want to put in reference, hey, you could buy a C8 Corvette, you're going to get basically comparable performance for a third of the price. Which is tough. That's a substantial downside. Not a lot of people have $210,000 to just, but, if you're one of those lucky few, the Maserati MC20 is, driving impressions haven't been in yet, but from what I've seen so far, it's a masterpiece, and I'm really impressed and glad that Maserati is moving in the right direction. So that's all my thoughts on that. Let me know what you think about the new MC20, If you have any concerns with it, or you hate certain aspects of the design, you think it's boring, or you think to try it in a super gaudy, let me know, and I'll catch you next time. Take it easy. Peace.